This is Taco Cabana Thursday Night Lights, presented by the Gomez Law Firm.
You are looking live at Ferris Stadium on San Antonio's north side. It's week 2 of Taco Cabana Thursday Night Lights, the 15th anniversary season. And tonight we got a good old-fashioned cat fight. It's the Bobcats of South San against the Wildcats of Sotomayor. Good evening, everybody. I'm Don Harris. My broadcast partner, Chuck McIntyre, down on the sidelines. This is exciting because Sotomayor is a new school in San Antonio. This is year 2 of their varsity program. Last year, they played with no seniors, won just one game. But, Chuck, Juan Morales is a program builder, and it looks like he's doing it again at Sotomayor.
Yeah, they've got 31 seniors this year, Don, and about half of those guys are going to be players. But they've got a lot of underclassmen that can really do the thing. And it's going to be fun to watch tonight because South San beat Sotomayor up pretty well last year. And something tells me that the Wildcats took some notes from that game last year. Phil Barone said it best from South San. He said, you know, those boys that we played last year, well, they're grown men now.
Yeah, and South San has a grown man of their own. I know you're excited about this young athlete who'll be playing defensive end.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Elegant Thompson, what a stud. Just looking at this guy. 6'2", 6'3", about 195. Don, this guy's just a junior and is in a 5-event qualifier on the track and field arena. This dude is some kind of athlete. I mean, we're even talking about 300-meter hurdles for this guy. Not a lot of college looks yet, but it is just a matter of time. Coach Morales said this is one of the guys we will absolutely be trying to avoid tonight.
Yep, and Sotomayor has a grown man of their own. That's Jaden Gutierrez. He ran wild last week in their 45-0 win in the opener.
Yeah, some duality with this young man. Juan Morales says he's a leader on the field, very vocal, but when you just talk to him off the field, he's quiet and shy. Not on the track. Last year, this young man tried to run over everybody. Well, he's got a little bit of off-season wisdom. He's learning to be more elusive, run out of bounds. This is a marathon that you sprint, yes, but Jaden Gutierrez, if he has a big night, that's going to probably be bad news for South San.
All right, when we come back, we will have our Gomez Law Firm keys to the game. It's South San and Sotomayor getting closer to kickoff on Thursday Night Lights. Welcome back to Ferris Stadium here in San Antonio on Thursday Night Lights. Week 2 of TNL, and it's time for the Gomez Law Firm keys to the game as we look at South San and Sotomayor. Up first, Chuck, Coach Phil Barone and those Wildcats, or Bobcats, excuse me.
You know, Don, it has everything to do with what they didn't do last week against McCollum. They've got to eliminate the mistakes, protect the football, and then they got to create some big turnovers on defense. I mean, they got shut out a week ago. They're a young team. They need to get some positivity going early on in this football game.
Here's Coach Phil Barone.
The work ethic here is second to none. You know, the kids they'll never quit. You know, and that's been South San's reputation for many years. You know, the kids are going to play hard. They're going to fight to the end, regardless of the score. You know, win, lose, or draw, they're going to fight. You know, so that's what they showed against McCollum, and they'll show that all year long, regardless of the opponent. That's the kind of kid we have here at South San.
As for those Sotomayor Wildcats, they were impressive in week 1 against Lee.
Well, Sotomayor is going to want some payback tonight for what happened last year. So the key is not to be thinking about too many things that don't have anything to do with playing football. Focus, do what you've been coached to do, own in on the task at hand. They got to take care of the football, too. You certainly don't want to give South San any extra chances. And then a Juan Morales staple. Be good on special teams.
As we said, Juan Morales is a program builder. Let's hear from the coach.
It's extremely special, you know, to be able to come from this close-knit community and what we've built in just a year and a half in terms of just family ties. And when I talk about family ties, it's everybody. We're talking about from the freshman volleyball team to the varsity cross-country team. We're all in it together. We've joined in with the band and with Spirit and just everybody coming together. And so to be able to build that culture here at Sotomayor and to say, hey, as a family, we're all going to cheer for each other no matter what it is that we're doing. So, this going in has been really gratifying to be able to display that on TNL and all the great things that you guys do. Then, that's going to be super, super exciting. I'm anxious to be able to show off these kids.
When we come back, we'll have our national anthem and kickoff. South San and Sotomayor on TNL.
Tonight's broadcast of Thursday Night Lights is sponsored by Taco Cabana, the Gomez Law Firm, Steel Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, Centro Med, Enroll SA, Countywide Service Company, Dr. Drake Sleep Solutions, Christus Children's, San Antonio Sports, Valero, San Antonio Metropolitan Health District, Vietnam Army Grunt Museum, Beluga Air, Rhino Roofers, Texas Kidney Foundation, Air and Plumbing Today, Ron Hoover RV and Marine, Harlandale Independent School District, San Antonio Zoo, and Monarch Trophy Studio.
The Bobcats and the Wildcats have taken the field here at Ferris Stadium as we're closing in on kickoff of Week 2 of TNL. South San losing last week to McCollum. Sotomayor, a big 45-0 win over the Legacy of Educational Excellence, better known as Lee. And very impressive, Chuck, for a second-year program, but really it's going just the way that Coach Juan Morales had predicted last year when he built the foundation. And now we will see them again tonight. But first, we'll go down to the field, and we'll turn it over to our public address announcer, Lou Caluza, for the national anthem.
Standing at midfield, presenting our nation's colors this evening
is the color guard of the Texas 20,221st Air Force Junior ROTC, Sonia Sotomayor High School. Commanding and carrying the American Flag Cadet Colonel Michael Paul. Carrying the Texas Flag Cadet Captain Blake Damian. The American Guard Cadet Colonel Anthony Bermudez. And the Texas Guard Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Monte Brothers Jr. At this time, we ask everyone to please rise and remove your hats to honor America and the men and women serving in our armed forces around the world. Our national anthem this evening will be played by the Sonia Sotomayor Wildcat High School Marching Band under the direction of Joseph Espinoza.
Coverage of tonight's national anthem is sponsored by the Vietnam Army Grunt Museum. Game Time Weather is sponsored by Air and Plumbing Today.
Welcome back. It's time for kickoff, but before we get to kickoff, it's time for our Air and Plumbing Today Game Time Weather. And you see the cooling fans down there. It was a little toasty, but 97 light winds, and those light winds were nice to have pregame, along with some good cloud cover. It wasn't too unbearable, but it is hot. South San won the toss. They defer, so they will kick off to Sotomayor, and we will see the Wildcats offense first. Doing the kicking for South San is Salomon Frimpong. And back to receive will be the deep man who we've talked so much about in the pregame show, and that is Gutierrez.
This is going to be a heck of a ball game, Don, because we got dudes on both sides of the ball on both teams, and let's go.
Rhino Roofers kickoff goes to the short man upfield, taken down at the 34-yard line, and that's where this offense will set up. And Logan Plake, the senior, is getting the start tonight at quarterback. He did not start last week in week 1 in that 45-0 blowout win. Evan Fine, the sophomore, started, but Logan had a really good week of practice, and he will start tonight.
Yeah, he's the senior. Evan Fine's the sophomore. They do run the 2 QB system here. Both guys bring a little something different to the table.
It's Fine here on first down. He will toss to Gutierrez. Not a lot of place to go. And a really nice job by South San coming up to make the tackle is Ivan Rivera. Coach Morales trying to fake out the TV guys. I don't think he trusts us to know pregame who's going to be the starting quarterback. Here comes Plake on second down. We may see a lot of rotating QBs all night. Bunch formation. Plake fumbles the snap, and so right out of the gate, Sotomayor is going to have third down and about 15. Not the way you want to start a ball game. And here comes Fine, as they may alternate every snap.
I don't think they'll end up doing that here as we settle in. However, as you can see, Logan Plake, as Coach Morales says, is a little more lead in the pipe, a little bit bigger guy, the senior to the sophomore.
This is final play action, but we've got whistles pre-snap. And Fine frustrated with the execution here. That'll back him up even further.
South San, their first timeout.
Actually a timeout taken by the Bobcats, so no penalty there. And we'll take it with them. It'll be 3rd and 15 for Sotomayor when we come back. Hey, check it out. Dr. Drake's Sleep Solutions Smile Cam was out at the pep rally today. A little limbo going on there for the Sotomayor students. Having a good time. Look at that facility. Brand new school. Unbelievable. Very nice. But can they convert here on 3rd down and 15? We got a quick kick formation looking out there.
Look at the size of number 11, Jacob Granado from South San, their safety. Keep it away from him.
And so they will send Fine under center. They'll pitch it, throw back to Fine, and he's got a man wide open downfield. Caught at the 45. Off to the races. Touchdown, Sotomayor. Roderick McKinley was wide open. A gadget play from Juan Morales works, and the Wildcats are on the board.
I meant to ask Coach Juan before the game if he was going to have a little trickeration for us, and what do you know? He dials it up on 3rd and long on the first series of the ball game. Pitch goes back to Evan Fine, and man, McKinley's so wide open. He's lonely out there, and then it's a speed to burn for 6.
Almost like he was toying with the defender. The little juke step. Both quarterbacks on the field making that happen. Extra point is good, and the Wildcats strike first. It's 7-0 Sotomayor.
Well, if you guys are TNL frequents, you obviously know who this man is then. His name is Michael Hines. He is with Taco Cabana, our main sponsor here on TNL. Mike, how are you today?
Wonderful, doing great.
We're becoming great friends. We see each other every week. It's great. Why do you guys consistently sponsor TNL and sports in our community?
Because right now we're hitting our 45th anniversary on September 16th, and honestly, the only way to give back to the community is to show them how much we care with the school systems, because that's our future right there. So that's everybody. So we want to show the community that we care, and we want to push to the community, to the school districts.
Awesome, man. What do you guys got going on at Taco Cabana? Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, right now, our Pork Street tacos are coming back next week on Wednesday. We also have a new cup coming out. This is going to be our 45th anniversary cup. You can get it in the stores and fill it with your favorite drink. Also, we're going to have these new cookies. They're called the Boom, the brand new cookie that's coming out, and we're going to be starting this next week on Wednesday.
Actually, I had one of those cookies a little while ago at the restaurant. It's delicious. Also, I filled it with my favorite beverage. I got some water because it's hot as heck out here. Let's get some water in, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cheers.
Something else is in that cup for Matt on the weekends.
Oh, yeah. Two dudes sitting in the booth.
Sotomayor kicking it deep, taken at the 5-yard line, and nice little short return across the 15 to the 17 for South San is Marcus Estrada. So we'll get our first look at the South San offense. Coach Barone saying basically we would have had 4 touchdowns last week if we just could have caught the football and not make a lot of mistakes. So they think that loss to McCollum last week was a little bit misleading. In other words, week 1 mistakes that they hope they can correct here tonight.
Yeah, they dropped 2 touchdown passes a week ago. They overthrew a ball on a 4th down play that could have been caught. Dropped a pass on 4th down. At the end of the day, you got to just go out and make some plays, and maybe this will be the night. We'll see what kind of a leap South San makes from week 1 to week 2.
It's a San Antonio Zoo first down as they hand inside on first down. Gain of a couple. Nice job by Sean Wasley of Sotomayor coming up to make the tackle. He's the captain, 6 foot, 185 pounds.
Yeah, just a junior, but that's a man-sized play in the hole.
Maybe a gain of 1. Johan Calderon is the junior quarterback leading this offense for South San. He's got 3 receivers to his right. Turns and drops the football. Looked like a little miscommunication there on the handoff to Francisco Orozco. As take a look at that starting lineup. Jimmy Estrada's the senior leader up there. He's the left guard. Orozco carried it 18 times last week for 72 yards. Their leading offensive performer.
And Elegant Thompson will line up outside as well at some point. The guy's got speed to burn.
3rd and long. Calderon wants to throw it. Now he scrambles, gets to the outside, but a gang of Wildcats there to bring him down, and South San will have to kick it away deep in their own territory as that defense led by Wasley and company really pursued the football. Samuel Garcia also over there, and Jeremiah Smith also in on the tackle.
Yeah, so it'll bring up 4th down, and bring on the punt team for South San. A really nice job by Sotomayor and their defense here on the first series, obviously aided by the miscue with the snap.
Chuck, you talked about Elegant Thompson, played defensive end, plays offense, wins all the track and field events, and he's the punter as well. Fields that one low, gets it off. Nice high kick across midfield. Gutierrez has it on his side, and now cuts to the outside, breaks 1 tackle, still on his feet, fighting for yardage across the 35, and so Sotomayor will have great field position when we come back, already up 7-0.
Welcome back to Dub Ferris Stadium. I'm still a little wet from the Taco Cabana interview, but we'll dry up with the TNL towel, so that's good. But lucky enough to have our presenting sponsor joining us right now, Luis Guerrero from the Gomez Law Firm. Luis, how are you today?
I'm doing good. It's exciting time. We're back in the field. Cheerleaders are cheering. The crowd is roaring. And obviously the football players are playing out here. But no, thank you so much, Matt, again, for inviting us to Thursday Night Light. It's a great event. It's a great community-oriented event that we're looking forward to.
Absolutely, and we appreciate you guys being a part of it. once again this year, why is it that you guys wanted to invest into the community and be a part of what this is, which is really a celebration of the two communities that we're showing on TNL?
Yeah, you know, when you think of an attorney, you think of something difficult in your life. We want to make sure that we're here for the celebratory aspect of it, and what better way to celebrate it than high school football?
Yeah, I only know of a couple of things in life: death, taxes, and Gomez Law fights. That's what I know. Right?
There we go, Gomez Law fight. And this year, we're actually celebrating 50 years of Mr. Gomez being here, being a proud sponsor of all these events, and being a part of the community. We're excited to go for another 50 more years. So, I mean, Gomez Law Fights is here to stay.
All right, well, Luis, thank you so much for joining us. I'll send it back up to Don and Chuck before they score while I'm talking, just like last week.
That's all right, Matt. I tell you who else is fighting is Jacob Gutierrez. Nice play here, Chuck, on the little counter, and a nice move to pick up another 5 yards.
Yeah, gaping hole over there on the left side, and I was just thinking Matt and Luis are going to have a voice-off. Those baritone voices here before the night's over.
Fine looking to throw it. Still scrambling. Now he's in trouble, and he's going to go down. Great pursuit by the South San defense. That was Euclid Saldana, the junior, kept his pursuit going throughout the entire play and gets the big loss.
He sure did a good job staying with Ethan Fine, who is a fine three-sport athlete. Trying to get away, but 23's not having any of it.
About a 20-yard loss. It'll be second down and 25. And here's Plake. He's the quarterback keeper. He'll get about 3. We're in 2-down territory for the Sotomayor offense, as we will see what Juan Morales' staff have up their sleeve here. People asking me all the time, hey, can they replay these games on the CW35? Well, you can catch them live on Facebook, streaming on news4sa.com, foxsanantonio.com. We keep them on YouTube, on the CW35 website forever. Chris Koffis does a great job cataloging all these games, so they're keepsakes for these kids playing under the lights on TNL.
Yeah, cataloging and chronicling, right? I mean, it was great, all the flashbacks that we had last week, and I'm sure we got a couple more tonight. We're going to be able to roll out a little trip down memory lane. Hard to believe, Don, 15 years of Taco Cabana Thursday Night Lights.
You know, and Chris was telling me this week about Frank Harris in 2014. Think about that. 9 years ago, Frank Harris was on TNL. Check it out.
I know that we were winning. If I stepped out of bounds, the clock would have stopped. So I just ran and just slid and not take a hit.
A lot of Cowboy fans are probably thinking, why doesn't Tony Romo do that? Frank Harris can do it.
Back to live action, deep ball to the corner. South San with great coverage there. Nice job on the back end by the defensive back, Jacob Granado. But, you know, most of these kids that we're showing in college football now played 4 years ago, not 9 years ago.
Well, it was great watching that flashback, right? I still think of Frank, even though he's a celebrated college quarterback, future mayor of San Antonio. I still think of him as Little Vic.
Sure.
I still flash back to those high school days. It's not fair to the young man. I know he's more mature than I am, but he will always be Little Vic to me.
He made so many plays in high school and at UTSA. He has so many memorable plays at UTSA, but I just remember, you know, telling David Chancellor and John Elizondo rather, can we have somebody else on the Play of the Week nominees? I mean, Frank's the nominee every single week because he was doing amazing things every week at Clemens. Hurdling guys, running around all over the field, and his leadership now that we see what he is today was evident back then in the community, hanging out with little kids and reading to elementary school kids and all those kind of things that make Frank Harris a San Antonio favorite was evident way back then on TNL.
Julian Benavides slow to get up, but we're happy that he has, as he gingerly heads to the sideline. We'll hope for the best there. Yeah, but you're right about old Frank. Man, I don't know where these guys find the time to be students, athletes, and then guys giving in the community as well. Amazing, amazing humans.
Morales going to give his kicker a shot at a 49-yarder. 45-yarder. Didn't get much air right off the foot, so it is no good, and South San will take over right there, and we're back in 15 seconds.
Do you know a San Antonio teen in 7th to 12th grade looking for ways to get involved in the community? They can apply to be a Project Worth Teen Ambassador today. For more information, visit our website or call 210-207-8850.
I don't blame Juan for running Jesse Pettis out there. I was watching him before the game, and that was into the wind before the game, and he was making those 45-yarders. So, sometimes you got to see it.
First down, handoff up the middle, going nowhere again. That pursuit is quick from the big guys up front for Sotomayor. And again, that includes big number 99, Zane Alcion, Keandre Pratt, and Jeremiah Smith. That's an imposing front three there.
Yeah, they are really excited about the depth and the quality that they have at defensive line.
Jet sweep.
As you can tell.
Going nowhere again. That time the handoff was to Marcus Estrada. Flag down.
Yeah, Don, I mean, they got Woodruff, second team all-district, now a junior. He's back, he's 6'3". Apparently when the college coaches come, they always ask about him.
Number 77.
I guess so. He was a sophomore. He makes all-district on 1 and 18.
Replay.
I mean, how good do you have to stand out on a 1 and 18 first-year program as a sophomore to make all-district?
Right, and then we'll be talking about Keandre Pratt. I have no doubt about that as the night goes along. I mean, these dudes are dudes. You talk about looking the part, too. Walking around before the ball game, it's like these dudes really, really passed the eye test.
Morales installing a weight program to get them bigger and stronger. Nice hole up the middle here for South San as they get a good chunk of that back. Ivan Rivera on the carry.
Good deception right there by South San. Until Sotomayor's looking to make a play behind the line of scrimmage, and it cost him some yards on that play. Ivan Rivera, another guy we were talking about, just a junior, but I'm telling you, both squads, you go down on the field in the Valley of the Giants.
Third down and 13 here for Johan Calderon. Looks over the middle. He's going to be sacked. Again, great pursuit by the defense of Sotomayor, and coming up big that time and getting back there quickly was Tristan Woodruff, the guy we were just talking about.
Yeah, and I just noticed too, he's got elite level hair. So that's a good thing. Look at him, beats his man around the edge and then gets the bear hug sack.
Fourth down and 20. Elegant Thompson on to punt it away. Had a good kick last time. And Gutierrez is back to receive. Jaden stands as his own 38-yard line. That golf ball may have been tipped straight up in the air. It'll check up at about the 35, and Sotomayor will have really good field position as we go back down to the sidelines and Matt Roy. Matt?
All right, guys. Well, we're thankful for our next sponsors, Steel, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chrysler. Chrysler's the one I was forgetting. I knew there was four.
That's right.
We got Sammy Soto with us. Sammy, you guys are one of our newest sponsors here on TNL. Why was it that this year you wanted to try and give back to the community a little bit more?
Well, the community's big. Steel is a big participant in anything that our community does, especially high school sports, any sports athletics. We're involved. We want to be there. We want to support and give back to the community.
Well, Sammy was just telling me that he just came from a football game. His son just scoring touchdowns. He might be on TNL someday.
Hey, well, we're hoping so. You know, he's still young, but with the program that we have here in Texas, Friday Night Lights, Thursday Night Lights, This is a place to be. Weather's perfect. Couldn't ask for more. Great coverage.
And last day of the month, you guys got great deals coming tomorrow and in September, so go check those out, everybody. Don, Chuck, we'll send it right back up to you. Sammy, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt. Be second down here for Logan Plake, the senior. He fires quick right over the middle. Caught for a first down. San Antonio Zoo first down. Little pop pass to the tight end.
I think Coach Juan's emptying out the playbook here tonight, getting some different guys involved. Got a lot of dudes on the field on the offensive side too.
Plake stays in for this one to Jaden Gutierrez, and he's dropped from behind. There's your guy, Elegant Thompson, coming in from the weak side to make the tackle from the back end.
You know, Carl Little making the play on the play before, but there he is, big number 88. I think we're going to be hearing a lot about this young man as not only this season goes along, but again, he's got another year after this.
Second down and long. Plake, your quarterback. Jaden Gutierrez, the single back behind him. They'll give it to Jaden. He stretches and then cuts it inside. Tries to run over guys like you were talking about pregame, and loves that physicality. Gets down to the 15-yard line. Nice pickup on the play. Will make it third down and manageable when we come back. And here's a look at the athlete that Gutierrez is.
Yeah, stable of guys they like to use back there, but this dude, one heck of a football player. I mean, always ready for competition, as you can see, not just in football. Fun to watch.
Pass completed underneath to the 10, to the 5, bowling his way in to the end zone. Nope, gonna be down short. That's Jace Cano. Thought he might have got the goal line, but he's gonna be marked down short of the end zone. But we are in the Central Med red zone, and they'll go quickly here, coming in with their fullback, Keon Perryman. Instead, they'll push in with the quarterback sneak, and that's a touchdown, and Sotomayor on the board again. This time, Logan Plake, the QB, does it himself.
Yeah, Logan Plake, fine athlete himself, and pretty sturdy back there under center, just bully ball. Take the snap, take the 6. Gets a little help from the fellows from behind. We got us a little rugby scrum for 6. However, there is a marker down.
There's no flag on the play. There is no snap. This ball was snapped under substitution. It's restrictions. We're going to replay that now.
So they'll take the points off the board. It did look quick, you know, as they rushed the heavy team on the field, the jumbo package, as it were. It didn't give South San's defense time enough to substitute as well, so they may end up just running the same thing. They've got Gutierrez in the back, no jumbo package with Perryman this time. Plake instead will hand to Gutierrez, and he bulls his way in for 6. And so Plake doesn't get to score. Instead, it'll be Jaden Hill and breakfast tomorrow.
I was just getting ready to say, I doubt very seriously that Juan Morales would run the same play twice. That's just not in his DNA. Instead, Jaden Gutierrez gets to pad the stats, gets into the end zone standing up, and a great job of shedding up front by the big fellas on the Sotomayor offensive line, including big number 75, John Sorolla, the senior over there.
Hey, coming up at halftime, we'll spotlight a couple of area teams that are making a difference in our communities with the Beyond the Game program. Let's hear more about this initiative from San Antonio Sports' Jenny Carnes and Valero.
Every day, our high school and middle school coaches work hard to help athletes reach their maximum potential while also teaching life lessons through sports. Beyond the Game provides a platform to support our coaches as they develop athletes beyond the basic X's and O's.
Valero's success is linked to its values of integrity, respect, teamwork, excellence, and community service. They are a part of everything we do in business and in the community. We are proud to partner with San Antonio Sports and recognize the next generation of leaders as they develop these life-enriching values on and off the field.
We are thrilled that Valero has joined our team. They are a company that lives their values and makes San Antonio a better place for all of us. Having Valero as a teammate for Beyond the Game will help this program continue to positively impact more teams, coaches, and families. 4 teams will be recognized during the San Antonio All-Star Football Game in the Alamo Dome. If you want to nominate a team, you can visit sanantoniosports.org and learn more about the program and nominate your team today.
Extra point was good. We had a personal foul against South San, a illegal contact, so that will mean that Sotomayor will kick off from the 45-yard line of South San here. And congratulations to Jenny Carnes and Valero for the Beyond the Game initiative, and congratulations to Jenny Carnes, the announcement coming this week officially of the $13 million that will go to dome improvements as we get ready to host the men's Final Four here in 2025. Going to be some new suites, bells and whistles there that hopefully the NCAA will take notice of so that San Antonio can stay in the rotation for those events.
Yeah, they've done a great job, right? I mean, in a day and age where new buildings get all of the stuff, Jenny and her staff, there's a lot of people to thank, obviously, but yeah, they've got the men's Final Four and then the women's Final Four coming up later this decade, so they've got a lot on their plate for the rest of the 2020s.
And nobody does it better than San Antonio and Jenny Carnes hosting these things. A little strategic kick to the right side, goes out of bounds. And we'll see this South San offense. So far, Chuck, a lot like last week. Sotomayor being able to do what they wanted to do against Lee. They're doing it here, and South San kind of shooting themselves in the foot offensively with mistakes and penalties.
Well, I think if you watch this game last year, you know, because of the age differential with a lot of these Sotomayor kids compared to South San, you know, they got beat up a little bit up front on both sides of the ball, but you can see the difference of an off season and the fact that Sotomayor and Coach Morales and what he's trying to build. I mean, they got all 5 of their offensive linemen back from last year. So, you know, things change year to year. I mean, obviously South San's a little younger this year, but very impressive, the program that Coach Morales is building. And again, they got some really, really big guys up front. That certainly helps with the quarterbacking, running the ball, and throwing.
It's a San Antonio Zoo first down for South San. Coach Barone wanting an explanation here on the kick out of bounds and the spot of the ball.
Coach Barone enjoying his 4th season with South San. Not real thrilled, as we can see at the moment with the call.
Make him kick it again. He gets the choice.
Out of bounds. Receiving team has elected to take 5-yard penalty from the previous spot and re-kick.
Yep, they have that. They have that option. You don't see a lot of teams take it because you get pretty good field position. But why not make them do it again? Hey, you know, you talked about last year's Sotomayor team winning just one game, and Juan telling us that, hey, man, it wasn't about wins and losses, it was about laying a foundation. Sound a lot like Coach Pop as far as not skipping steps. First thing we're going to do is just grow, get bigger, faster, stronger. You look at him, this is a dude who's in the weight room every day himself. And you can tell the difference in these kids. When you look at that defensive front, and Woodruff, and Wasley, Pratt, Zayden Auction, they have, you know, plus you're growing anyway as a 16-year-old. You're going to naturally put on 5'10", a couple inches in height as well, but these kids have been eating right, and they've been lifting daily, and you can tell the difference.
Well, he thinks he's got a playoff team. You know, obviously it's a long season, but he has restricted his kids from talking or even saying the word. They got to go out and earn it. He's really, you know, when he says at the beginning of the show that one of the keys tonight is focus, he wants that literally every moment, every play, and then we'll see where we end up at the end.
That ball kicked into the end zone this time.
But there's no doubt he's got some talent. He's got some players. He's growing them up. And you can tell, these teams take on the personality of their coach. I mean, they don't look like they sweat too much. They're always in control. And they literally go snap to snap.
It'll be at the 25-yard line, so South San may have actually lost a couple yards on that decision.
And same thing with Coach Barone. I mean, he's coaching up his guys too. I mean, they're not exactly tiny up front with South San either.
So here comes Johan Calderon, new set of downs for the Bobcats. He'll turn and hand it off on a little stretch play. Again, going nowhere is Frank Orozco. Second down and we call it 9. Picked up maybe half a yard.
Yeah, they also like to run running backs in and out. They've got another guy, Rene Suarez, who transferred in from Holmes. Ton of potential, and he's also playing some safety. So again, South San trying to put their best athletes on the field at all times, no matter the spot.
And they've got Elegant Thompson on the right side. Safety covering that up as they run the quarterback. Stretches it one way and then goes the other, and he's brought down for a loss. And a nice play out there by Leaf Caballero, the captain, second-team All-District performer there at cornerback, stayed home and made a play.
Yeah, we got a chance to hear from Leaf this week as we hype the telecast, and I'll tell you what, if South San gets one block there on the outside, that might actually gone for a couple of yards.
That's the end of the first quarter. Our score, the Sotomayor Wildcats 14, the South San Bobcats nothing. We're back with second quarter action right after this. Welcome back. It's time for our Harlandale Independent School District first quarter highlights. This game started with a bang with some trickeration. Evan Plank going to Logan Fine. He's going deep for Roderick McKinney, a 70-yard touchdown on 3rd and a mile. That puts Sotomayor up 7-0. Then Jaden Gutierrez scored after that. Here's another look at the long pass. Roderick McKinley, little juke step, and then turns on the Jets. Spectre Gadget. Gutierrez, after a penalty, wiped out a touchdown. Took it right in off tackle to make it 14-0, and that's where we stand here as second quarter action begins. Here's a look at the first quarter statistics, and again, that defense, Chuck, bowing up for Sotomayor, not a single first down for the Bobcats yet.
Yeah, I mean, when you can put up those kind of numbers in the first quarter, you can put it up in any quarter. That is impressive, and Sotomayor, they've now played 5 quarters of football to start this season. They haven't given up a touchdown.
South San negative total yards, and they're in a tough spot here on 3rd and 11 on their own 25.
Look out.
Little blitz coming. Ball got out quickly, and blowing that up for Sotomayor's defense. Really nice play by Samuel Garcia, who came off the corner blitz.
Well, just unimpeded. Sotomayor bringing pressure from different parts of the field right there, and from the blind side. Got there just in the nick of time to disrupt everything.
A turf monster there too. Invisible, tripped up the back. 4th down, Elegant Thompson on to punt it away. Jaden Gutierrez back standing at his own 40-yard line. And we've got perhaps timeout. And we do. Phil Barone very upset with his special teams unit.
Well, it's fascinating, right? And you see all these teams kind of change things up because of personnel or youth or because they're more veteran. And Juan Morales was telling us that last year there were a lot of things that the Bobcats ran on them that they hadn't seen before, and something tells me tonight that they're doing a little reversal, a little boomerang this evening. There's a couple of things that this young Bobcats team has not seen, and there have been some growing pains here in this first quarter.
Let's take a look at one of our player profiles tonight. Our Texas Kidney Foundation player profiles. We look at Wasley. He's been all over the place defensively tonight. 2-year starter, their leading tackler from the year ago. And again, another all-district performer despite their young crew and 1-8 record. So to make an impression on that kind of a team with the other coaches in the district shows you what kind of year he had a year ago, and he's had a big night tonight already.
Yeah, apparently he's been studying the game of football since he was 5 years old. I think he was meant to be playing on Thursday nights.
Elegant Thompson gets off another good high kick. That backs up Gutierrez to his 39, but he's got some room on this side. Gets to the corner, wanted to cut it back, and throws the defender out of bounds. Nice return on the play. Flags down, though. It may come back because of an illegal block. Normally that is the call.
Coach Morales is trying to signal for an illegal man downfield.
Joe Wicker's our head referee tonight. The way he's talking to Morales, it may be on South Sand.
During the return, holding number 24. 10-yard penalty from the spot of foul. First down, Sotomayor.
Okay, so they will back it up to the 45-yard line, and second quarter just underway here at Ferris Stadium as the Wildcats run Logan Plake back out. He was the backup last week. He's taken the majority of the snaps here in this one, although they're playing Evan Fine as well, the sophomore. They'll toss it to Gutierrez. He goes off tackle, goes right up the middle. He's got some room. Breaking free across the 45 to 30. South Sand's got the angle on him, and they dropped him at the 15-yard line, but not before a huge gain again by Jaden Gutierrez.
Yeah, and if Christopher Calderon, the junior, wasn't as fast as he was, this one's getting housed. Look at this, running behind a sea of Sotomayorians. Breaking it outside, and then gotta love Christopher Calderon tracking him.
That's a Centromed red zone play into the San Antonio Zoo. First down. And here's Gutierrez again. Wanting to run into contact, does, only picks up a yard or so. Good physical contact by Ethan Vela coming up to make the stop. Chuck with the adjective of the year, Sotomayorians.
All apologies to the judge.
That's awesome.
Jeremy Martinez getting a carry here tonight. Coach Juan letting everybody have some touches here early in this football game. The man picked up a couple of yards, sporting the number 0, which seems to be pretty popular nowadays, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Like 3 or 4 Cowboys that were all jockeying for 0, and Cowboys weren't giving it up. The organization wasn't. Check out 0.
Nice. Another run up to about the 5-yard line. Jeremy Martinez down at the 6.
Yep, and look who was over there to go grab him, 88 from the other side of the field.
A nice snag on the pitch.
Yeah,
third, go ahead.
I was just going to say, something tells me you don't want to see 10 when there's fire in the hole, right?
3rd and 2, they toss it to him. He turns it inside. Good tackle, but he'll pick up the first down. Nice.
Yeah,
quick play into the hole by Michael Santos.
Yeah, Michael Santos doing a good job. I no sooner get that out of my mouth, and Michael Santos up for the challenge and then some.
So that's a countywide service company first down. They'll have 4 shots at it here, and they run Perryman, the fullback, in as they did the last time they were on the goal line. That time they ran a quarterback keeper with Logan Plake. This time they hand to the fullback. Perryman bounces it, but nowhere to go. And again, the defense of South Sand standing up. Elijah Pardo coming up with a nice tackle.
Yeah, another underclassman coming up and making a play. Let's see where he goes. Slides and glides, sheds and shreds to make a play behind the line. Well done, sir.
Yeah, got off that block by Jace Cano and just fought it off and was able to make the tackle as the ball goes to the far hash. So does Logan Blake. He's got Gutierrez behind him, and he's got two receivers at the bottom of the screen. Jacob Merrill, one of them, and then they have another pre-snap penalty. False start this time against the...
False start, number 72 on the offense. 5-yard penalty, replay, second down.
Wildcats. I almost said against the Sotomayorians.
I was just going to go with Bob against Wild tonight.
But you know, Wildcats is the most common nickname in Texas high school football.
I did not know that.
It's the most, like 1,000 teams. So how great would it have been if they would have been the Sotomayor Sotomayorians? Ball's thrown over the middle. They've run this play before, caught at the 5, and going in for the touchdown. Sotomayor on the board again. It's C.J. Little with the score. Or is it? There's another flag down. Nick Funky Cole Medina, our statistician, says he saw a block in the back.
Before the score, block in the back, number 75 on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay, second down.
Funky Cole with the good eyes.
There it is.
Kind of unnecessary, right? Like he scores anyway, no matter what.
Well, once he got chipped, 16, yeah, it looked like, I don't know, maybe not.
He might have gotten it. So it's second down and goal from the 12. It's handed inside to Gutierrez. He's in this time for a touchdown. Jaden Gutierrez with his second score of the night.
Well, Sotomayor makes no bones about what they want to do on a lot of their plays, and that's attack the middle of the field, whether it's at the line of scrimmage or in the air. Right here, it's a little delay, but it didn't take long for Gutierrez to punch her in.
Jesse Perez on to kick the extra point. And that is good. And it is 21-0. Sotomayor doing what they did last week. 8:15 to go here in the second quarter. And Jaden Gutierrez has scored twice. Smile Cam was out at the South Sand Pep rally as well. Everybody fired up for football season. It's here. Great to see the focus on all the bands and spirit groups, not just the football teams, part of TNL.
What a wonderfully rich tradition they have at South Sand.
That kick goes into the end zone, and the Bobcats will take over, down 21-0, really wanting to get on the board here before halftime.
Yeah, we'll see if they can get something going. I mean, they may have to take some chances down the field to loosen up this Sotomayor defense, because they are really having a hard time controlling the dudes in the box to this point.
It'll be a countywide company first down for Johan Calderon and the Bobcat offense that's had a real hard time getting going here tonight. Down 21-0, 8:16 to play here first half. 4 receivers, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. They run it inside. Nice gash hole opened up by that offensive line, and a nice gain on first down. A little positive momentum here on this drive as Frank Orozco punches it forward for about 7.
Yeah, Marcelino De Leon and Alex Gonzalez there, the center guard combo, offering up a nice little hole there for Francisco to barrel through with authority. Tim, they just took the punch right to Sotomayor, firing off the ball really well on that particular play.
Same formation here on second, and we'll call it 3. A hand again, and Frank is just short of the stick. It'll be 3rd down and a yard.
Hey guys, as you've noted so far today, Soto has not allowed a touchdown in 5.5 quarters now. You'd expect them maybe to get a little happy on the sideline, but they're taking on the personality of their head coach. Everybody after that touchdown came right over the bench. They're accepting all that coaching. Obviously, everyone's mad about the penalties, but it's all business over here on the Soto sideline, even though they're up 21-0.
Yeah, and that was a play by Antonio Gonzalez. I mean, look at that. The senior defensive tackle coming over to fill in and make a play very nicely.
Roscoe picks up the countywide service company 1st down on the short run, gain of 2, good enough to move the sticks. And we're seeing a little bit of positive momentum building now for this South San Bobcat offense.
Yeah, Roscoe, they're going to have to ride him in terms of running the football. And this is a really, really fine football player. He's been on varsity since he was a freshman. And this guy, he was hurt last year, but he wants to go out with a bang in his senior season. And right there, he'd taken on half the Wildcats on that particular run.
And he's still not on the ground. Nice, tough run by Frank Orozco. Good job by that defense. Again, led by Tristan Woodruff over there. What an impressive young man he is.
Yeah, Samuel Garcia, too, not given a whole lot of ground when contact was made.
2nd down, we'll call it 8 for Calderon. And everybody jumped other than the center. Both sets of receivers, left and right, took off early. That'll be a false start.
False start, multiple players on the offense. 5-yard penalty, replay, 2nd down.
It'll be 2nd down and 13. Phil Barone's frustration continues. Man, that hat he had pregame was sweet, right?
Sure was.
The uniforms are big on the South San baseball cap. 2nd down and 13. Calderon running right, being pursued, lets it go. Good coverage. And there was a late flagrant personal foul late. Not sure if it was a face mask. I didn't see it, but I heard coaches next door go nuts right at the end of that play on the sideline.
Yeah, I heard it too. It was like earthquake and sense around.
Was it a face mask after the play, like as they went out of bounds?
I'm not really sure. I didn't see it. All I know is that South San could really use a break right here.
They're about to get it. It looked like number 7, the defender for Sotomayor, had his hand in there perfectly timed to break up the pass.
Pass interference on the defense, number 32. Spot foul, automatic, 1st down.
It was further up the field, I guess.
It looked like he hooked him maybe a little bit there at the end. Check it out.
See, there's 32 up here, holding number 5. That was number 5. There's no 32 in the play. Okay.
I think there was a little hook there at the end of that throw.
1st down. Picked! Sotomayor's got it. And they may go down the sideline to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown. That's Samuel Garcia going the distance.
How about that? Mass confusion. What appeared to be a screen. There's just nobody there except for Samuel Garcia. Not only did he find the ears, he found the house.
The Wildcats blowing this one open midway through the 2nd quarter. Perez getting a workout tonight with his extra points. Trying to make it 28-0, and he does. All Sotomayor. 5:25 left. They're in complete control.
You're watching Taco Cabana Thursday Night Lights, presented by the Gomez Law Firm.
Welcome back. Sammy Garcia all smiles after the Oski and taking it back to the house, up 28-0. Chuck, this program making history just about with every snap.
Indeed, they had their first pick six as a program last week. They just doubled it up with Sammy Garcia. He was their leading tackler a week ago, Don, and apparently another guy that's always in the books in terms of study, preparation, and Juan Morales says he's always around the ball, and we called his shot in a pregame meeting this week.
And again, it gives us another chance to talk about Juan Morales. We were both so impressed with him way back in the day. I think it was 2015 or so when we called his game at Highlands. And to see the turnaround that he did to that program. Then he went to Holmes, was a miracle worker with the Huskies. It starts with culture, starts with discipline. Plus he's a disciplinarian, but he's a really, really heck of a guy to like. Kids love him. And just an impressive individual when we had him in the All-Star game. And what he did in a single week was one of the most impressive things that we've seen. Calling that game for years, able to get guys who had never played together in 1 week, look like they were a well-oiled machine.
It was interesting. I was looking at that 2018 team that he coached and they won, but the best player on that field in that game was Trayvon Merrick, who's playing for the Las Vegas Raiders right now. But there are 3 dudes from that game, Don, that are playing in the NFL. Spencer Burford and our good buddy Ben Sims latching on with the Packers yesterday.
Part of the 53. How excited are you that a Clark Cougar is playing for the Green Bay Packers?
Oh, even better.
Your 2 squads.
Yeah, Big Ben's a good kid, and it's just great to see these guys that love football, are good at football, and then who amongst us can say anything bad about all 3 of the guys that I just named, right?
He made the 53 too, right? Not
yes,
the practice
he did.
squad.
Yeah, he's their third
He was in the
tight end.
Titans camp?
No, he was in the Vikings camp.
Vikings camp.
Yeah, the Packers liked him before the draft, didn't draft him, but
just
I think the Vikings liked him too, but they were awfully stacked with contracts and good tight ends on their football team. So sometimes it just doesn't work out.
A throw into the backfield, that's snuffed out, almost blown up and picked off early on the play.
Yeah,
Leaf Caballero read it perfectly, just missed breaking it up.
Oh, what a play, right? Guy trying to block him, and he still almost got his mitt in there. Still did enough to disrupt everything.
Wassley makes the tackle, sets up 2nd down and 11. So we tick inside of 4 minutes. Ben Sims, great career at Baylor after we had him on TNL when he was a Clark Cougar, played in the Gucci Bowl. Handoff inside, good room. Big gain, about 10 yards on the gain by Ivan Rivera, the junior.
Yeah, Ivan's another guy that plays on both sides of the football, and that was a nice crease up the middle that he hit, and it's like a good running back does, fell forward for an additional couple yards. Get off me.
3rd and manageable now here, 3rd and about 3. Shotgun formation for Calderon. He'll hand it again. This time that one's not going anywhere, as again it's Wassley, who's got about 5 or 6 tackles already, in on the stop.
Man, those 2 linebackers over there on the left side, Garcia and Wassley, very, very impressive ball games to this point, because it really looked like South San had squared it up with the blocking, right? Little bit of a push there from Sotomayor, but 34 coming in and having none of it.
This is a quandary here. It's 4th and 4. You're down 28-0. You got really nothing to lose. Why not go for it? But with 250, you kick it away with Elegant Thompson's leg. You make Sotomayor have to go the distance to try to score again before halftime. It's a tough decision here.
Well, I think that's the beauty of the preseason, right? I mean, you still got everything in front of you when it comes to league play, so you can experiment with some of these things. You can roll the dice, and obviously South San is the 5A school. Their number's not quite where Sotomayor is as a 6A school, but to your point, they're going to play it safe and punt it away. At least that's the look they're giving here on 4th down. But, you know, you can roll it either way, right? If you roll the bones and you don't get it, more important things still lie ahead for both of these teams.
Thompson gets off a good kick. Gutierrez is going to field it on the fly at the 28. Stumbles right across the 30, and we'll be back in 15 seconds.
Hey San Antonio teens! Are you looking for ways to share your voice, creativity, and ideas on ways to positively impact the community? Become a Project Worth Teen Ambassador. For more information, visit our website or call 210-207-8850.
So Sotomayor has 2 minutes and 38 seconds. They've also got a countywide service company first down to see if they can punch in one more here before halftime. And they'll run out Gutierrez behind Logan Blake. Got most of the snaps here tonight. He'll pitch it to Gutierrez, coming left, get a seal here, get a seal there, and run it in the alley. And he does all the way to the 48-yard line. It's good for another countywide service company first down, and even better if you're a Sotomayor fan, is that he steps out of bounds to stop the clock.
Yeah, taking on blockers as he's prone to do as well. It's going to be fun to watch this guy play all year long to see how he develops and adds more little notches into his holster with how he grows his own game.
They're going to swing it to him. He's got some blockers out there. Gets one of them. Now he gets to the inside. Nice move across the 40 down to the 35. They're going to call it the 33. Boy, quick little juke there at the end of that one to get another 5.
Yeah, and Rafael Basulto, the junior, coming over to make a play, and if he doesn't, again, we might still be talking here.
They'll go back to him. He'll go again across the 20 into the Central Med red zone, and he's feeling it. Gutierrez may be a little gassed here now after 3 straight carries.
Yeah, a little ground and pound action, right side, left side. They are really stretching South San's defense sideline to sideline. They got a little help there at the end with a hold, but man, this is a mighty impressive offensive performance and defensive performance so far by these Wildcats.
And now whistles blow. Gutierrez is absolutely out of breath, looking for some water on the sidelines, but yeoman's work by that young man.
South San.
Got a timeout by the South San defense. They want to rest their guys as well.
You may have taken the timeout just to get Gutierrez a blow, because I could tell you this, as they inch closer to the end zone, 10's going to want his hands on the ball, get him another.
Hey, don't forget about the Christus Children's $5,000 band grant all season long. We'll have the chance to vote for a $5,000 band grant. Scan the QR code on your screen, as we taught Chuck how to do last week. Or visit the cw35.com/station/contest. You must be 18 in our viewing area. The $5,000 band grant sponsored by Christus Children's.
Just don't ask me to take a test this week to see what I retained from a week ago.
I want to see you break out your phone. We have a monitor in the booth. Scan the code. You can do it. A little reverse. Coming this way. South San did not buy it, and they'll wrestle to the ground.
That's Elegant Thompson. No, it is
Jacob
not.
Merrill on the carry. Jacoby, my fault. Jacoby Merrill on the carry.
Yeah, I apologize to both players right there. A little too quick to make the call. I saw 88, and I kept thinking about Elegant Thompson.
2 split right, including 8 and 88. 2nd down and 10. Blake, your quarterback, fires over the middle and just missed the wide open Jace Cano on that little tight end pop pass that they've hit twice tonight, going to Carl Little.
Interesting how they go back over the middle of the field. All you can eat right there, just
rushed it, didn't he? Just a little bit?
A little bit, yeah, and it's one of those plays they're going to be making, probably next week or the week after. I mean, they're going to start to clean some of these things up, but well-designed play. A lot of eye candy in the backfield, and then all of a sudden you're getting popped over the middle.
All right, 3rd down and long. Blake looking over the middle again. Got it to Little. Little going to get to the outside. Little to the 5. A flag flies. Not sure if that was an illegal block or a face mask. The coaches of Sotomayor are in the booth next to us going nuts.
Holding, number 88 on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay, 3rd down.
Yeah, you can see 88 tangled up down there on the far side.
Well, Don, you can really tell, though, that Juan Morales is really impressed with C.J. Little as a ball player. He is going to get the ball a lot for these fellas this year. He came over from Marshall, and I guess he was their quarterback in the system that they run there, but I know they're happy to have this guy as a ball player. He's something special.
I was going to ask you the schools that Sotomayor drew from when they opened up. Trips left, pressure quarterback, those long, and tipped and incomplete as Evan Fine came in to throw that one, this young sophomore. And that'll set up 4th down. They love their kicker. Jesse Perez tried a 45-yarder earlier. He's like 10 for 10 on PATs now for the season, and had a successful short field goal last week.
Yeah, 33-yarder, which, by the way, was a school record. So good on Jesse.
37 yards here. Good spot, good hold. Kick is low, but it's good.
School record.
Jesse Perez, every time he kicks one, it's almost a school record.
Coach Juan said they make a big deal about that, as they should. I mean, this is pretty cool. You got a bunch of guys, 31 of them, that are going to get to call themselves first-year graduates of Sotomayor High School, and that's been part of the nurturing process with them, is that they get to make a big deal every time a school record is, because these guys are setting the standard.
Boy, we got a good one next week as we open up district play. Brennan and Harlan. Brennan was preseason number 2. Harlan always right there in the playoff hunt. And we're excited about scheduling these two teams playing each other this year on TNL. That's next week, right here on Thursday Night Live.
Yeah, Brennan Young and Harlan. Boy, do they look the part so far this year, huh? We know how good Brennan's been over the last forever.
Some big-time college prospects on those two squads as well.
Yeah, and I think we've got some here in this ballpark tonight, too. They're just all young. You tell me some of these dudes are 6'2", 6'3", 200 pounds plus, some of them 195 pounds, multi-sport athletes.
Elegant Thompson looks like he'll be able to play somewhere.
Yeah. How about 2? Keandre Pat from Sotomayor. Yeah. They got a couple of dudes.
Tristan Woodruff.
Yep. I mean, guys that absolutely stand out when you look at them. Eye candy, as the coaches like to call them.
This kick dies about the 20. A couple of seconds will go off the clock here. We'll have about time for one snap. Elegant Thompson getting to a little scruff with Sammy Garcia there.
Yeah, Sammy Garcia coming down making a tackle. You can tell these guys love football too.
Yeah, there's something special about this Juan Morales culture he's building at Sotomayor. You know, look, they're a brand new school coming into a really good district. You got Brennan, you got Harlan, Brandeis, O'Connor. These are schools with rich winning traditions who are looking to beat up on the new kids. And the new kids look like they're going to be able to just handle themselves just fine.
Yeah, and on the other side, you got South San. I mean, a lot of these kids used to play when South San was 6A, playing the likes of Judson and Steele every week. So they got some tough dudes, too.
South San always plays hard, no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
Last play of the half. And that will do it with Sotomayor dominating tonight, 31-0, just like they did in the opener against Lee. Juan Morales' crew in complete control, and we're seeing that discipline on both sides of the ball. Execution, and South San goes into the locker room, going back to the drawing board. Matt Roy gonna grab Coach Morales and get his thoughts here on the first half as we throw it down to the sidelines. And Matt Roy standing by with the coach. Matt, take it away.
All right, Don. Yeah, we got the 31-0 head coach right now, Coach Soto. I heard you just talking to your team right now. Keep your composure, keep your poise. What are you telling them right now?
Absolutely. It's on us right now. The mistakes that are going on, those are all on us. We've got to make sure we get a better, cleaner game. Lack of focus right now in terms of the little things. We're going to come in. We're going to talk about it. We can get everybody straight. We're not going to worry about any kind of things that are going on with them. Right now is making sure we play our game. Keep level.
Coach, you guys have played 6 quarters of football. You've allowed a grand total of 0 points. What does that say about your defense and the discipline they do have?
Well, they've done a great job. We understand that people are coming after that, and these guys they're trying to hold themselves up to a higher standard. So I'm glad they're keeping it up, and we'll see if we can continue going.
All right, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, Coach Morales in complete control, but never happy. He's playing for next week too. Keep that focus. When we come back, it's the halftime show. We'll hear from the bands and learn about our Scholar Athletes of the Week. Coming up next at the half on TNL.
Tonight's broadcast of Thursday Night Lights is sponsored by Taco Cabana, the Gomez Law Firm, Steele Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, Centro Med, Enroll SA, Countywide Service Company, Dr. Drake Sleep Solutions, Christus Children's, San Antonio Sports, Valero, San Antonio Metropolitan Health District, Vietnam Army Grunt Museum, Beluga Air, Rhino Roofers, Texas Kidney Foundation, Air and Plumbing Today, Ron Hoover RV and Marine, Harlandale Independent School District, San Antonio Zoo, and Monarch Trophy Studio. Welcome to the Centro Med Halftime Report.
Welcome back to the northwest side of San Antonio here at Dub Ferris Stadium. Sotomayor taking it to South San right now, winning 31-0. But the South San band is on the field, and a little bit earlier this week, we were lucky enough to talk to the South San band director. Let's talk to him right now.
My name is Gabriel Perez, and I'm the new head band director over here at South San High School. This is my first year here, but I've been teaching for about 20 years now. This year, our band consists of about 75 students. We're looking at maybe 50 wind, 12 percussionists, I believe, and probably about 13 color guards. We do have a good amount of seniors, but the majority of the band is actually a bunch of sophomores, so they're going to be here. They're going to be here for a while. Looking at the seniors, I want to say maybe there's a good 12 to 15 seniors that we are going to lose, and they're hardworking, great students. So it's going to really impact the band. But the sophomore class, they're headstrong and they're ready to go. This year our show is entitled The Gladiator. So it features music from Hans Zimmer, the movie, The Gladiator. It has the second movement is from Braveheart, and that is The Secret Wedding. And the third movement is music from Camille Saint-Saëns, Dance Bacchanal. So it's pretty much the journey of a gladiator, the battle that they go through, falling in love, and it's a real old tale that's being told once again. Kids are excited about it. Music is great, and we're just ready to roll. Competition season usually starts in October. So we actually call that Bandtober because we got something to do every weekend. First weekend we'll probably be at the Rocket Review. Second weekend will be our official UIL. and then we get 1 week off, and if we make it and advance to area, then we'll be at the area contest that following week. It takes a village, you know, to get this place going and get the kids moving. So definitely I have to give a very big thank you to my assistant director, Mr. Nicholas Bernal. And then we have our color guard instructor, who is Kayla Garcia. And we've been having our percussion instructor, Clarissa Collins, work with the band, the battery. And of course, a big shout out to all the parent support, band boosters. Just everybody's been so good with the kids, welcoming and helping out.
Always great to hear from the bands. Now it's time to vote for the Christian Children's $5,000 band grant. To vote for the South San Band, scan the QR code on your screen or visit cw35.com/station/contest. You must be 18 years old and live in our viewing area.
San Antonio middle and high school athletes are doing great things for our community. San Antonio Sports and Valero are shining a light on teams and individuals who model key values through their actions. This week, we salute 2 schools whose community projects demonstrate beyond the game values. Members of the Steele High School football team spent a morning handing out goodie bags to bus drivers, a way of welcoming them back and honoring them for all they do throughout the school year. During the summer, Medina Valley High School's cheer team hosted their annual Cheer Kitty Camp, coaching and organizing drills for more than 170 future Panthers. These athletes demonstrated the beyond the game values of integrity, respect, teamwork, excellence, and community service. San Antonio Sports and Valero salute high school and middle school coaches who inspire their athletes to serve others. Parents, teachers, and coaches can nominate teams and individuals that go beyond the game. Visit sanantoniosports.org.
You're watching the Centro Med Halftime Report.
All right, we heard from South San. Let's hear from the Sotomayor Marching Band. We spoke to their band director a little bit earlier this week. Here's what they said.
My name is Joseph Espinoza. I've been the head band director here at Sonia Sotomayor for 1 full year, which is our entire existence of opening. So this is not only my 2nd year here at Sotomayor, but it's my 2nd year as a head band director. I have been a band director for going on 8 years now. We started with about 60 kids last year, and then this year we're about at 140, so we almost doubled in size. Our show is entitled What Autumn Brings, and it's essentially a show about the fall season. And so what we've told our kids is it's about how our life experiences changes and experiences seasons within our life. So we're really trying to hone in on the fact that, like, you know, this is a change for a lot of our freshmen who are coming into high school for the first time. It was also a big change for a lot of our upperclassmen that came from a different high school. This is kind of just about you know, how we see our seasons, and we see the season of fall, and, you know, things are not like in spring and alive, but, you know, there's still beauty behind it. Our first competition is going to be at Fredericksburg High School, and that will be on September 30th, which will kick off our competition season. And then we'll have UIL. We'll be going to 2 U.S. band competitions, one at Piper High School and another one in Austin at Kelly Reeves Stadium, which is our last competition on November 4th. I have some really good associates. I have Mr. Paul Jensen, who is not only our associate band director, but our jazz band director, who has been doing wonderful things with our jazz program since our inauguration. The percussion director at Sonia Sotomayor is Miss April Latta. She is an outstanding educator. We are so lucky to have her. She has already built a really, really good championship percussion program. And then as far as our color guard, Mr. Contreras and Miss Caballero, they've been with us since our inauguration as well. and they've also created just a warm, welcoming culture within their color guard. Super excited to have them on our team. And then we'd be nothing without our parents. We have really, really good parental support. They're always showing up, moving things, feeding our kids, asking how they can help. So it's just been awesome being able to be a part of our community.
And to vote for the Sotomayor Marching Band, scan the QR code on your screen or visit the CW35.com/station/contest. You must be 18 years old and live in our viewing area to vote. Thanks again to Christian Children's for sponsoring this year's $5,000 band grant.
You're watching the Centro Med Halftime Report.
Welcome back to Dub Ferris Stadium for TNL tonight. One thing I love about TNL is it's not just about the athletes on the field, it's about the athletes off the field. And so each week we recognize outstanding student athletes from the schools playing on Thursday Night Lights. At the end of the year, Steele, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram will present a $10,000 scholarship to one of the students featured this season on TNL. Our David Chancellor introduces us to this week's scholar athletes from Sotomayor and South San.
It's an athlete's nightmare, but for a high school senior playing his last year of football, it's about as worst case scenario as things get.
I was in shock. I knew that the injury was bad. My knee popped, but I didn't think it was that severe until they told me, and then they told me I was going to be out for the rest of the season.
Was it a scrimmage? Was it a practice?
It was during practice.
Oh.
Sotomayor senior running back Alexander Soto tore his ACL in practice. His senior season, something he worked for, dreamed of since the age of 5, was gone.
Few tears?
Any tears?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. Big boys admit when they cry.
Yeah. When it initially happened, I didn't cry. I think I mostly cried because of the fact that I just couldn't play.
That's heartbreaking. Does this mean football's over?
For me, yes. I do not plan on playing in college. I plan on pursuing academics at computer. I'm gonna do computer science in college, so I'm gonna go to UTSA and do my basics for computer science, and hopefully go into cybersecurity.
Academics isn't his fallback. It was always the game plan for a guy with a GPA of over 100. Alexander calls the injury a bump in the road, a sign to focus on school and his future.
It's just my mentality that I won't quit no matter what. No matter whatever obstacles put in my way, I'm gonna overcome the obstacle.
Football is in the blood for Jimmy Estrada. His dad, Jimmy Sr., played minor league football for 13 years. He also coached his son until he was 13, and boy, did that pay off. This year will be Jimmy's 4th on varsity at South San.
There was a lot of nerves on starting, put a lot of pressure on me. Guys went down, so they're like, Jimmy, you gotta step up. I was like, all right. I was ready though, I was ready.
Jimmy anchors the offensive line, the defensive line, and he is a beast in the weight room. Benches over 300, squats and deadlifts over 500.
I take a lot of pride in it because my dad did it. My dad did it in high school. He's max squat 600, so I'm always trying to beat him.
Dad set the bar on and off the field, pushing his son to think of others, which is why Jimmy loves volunteering at the food bank.
It's been hard, my dad always told me to help out, do as much as you can for people and it'll come back to you. So, my dad, he helped me with that. I love having him with me all the time. There's rarely a time you see me and him without each other. We're always spending time with each other, talking to each other, just messing around.
Big, strong, tough guy like you. Do you tell your dad you love him?
All the time, every time. Before I leave, when he drops me off in the morning, bye, I love your dad, all the time.
That's awesome, man. Don't ever change that.
Time for our Harlandale Independent School District first half highlights. It has been all Sotomayor. It started with the trickeration here on the first drive of the game. This one going 70 yards to the house. And from there on, it's been Jaden Gutierrez. He's got a couple of scores. Scoring early and often are the Wildcats, and they lead it 31-0 as we get ready for second half action right here on the CW35.
You're watching Taco Cabana Thursday Night Lights, presented by the Gomez Law Firm.
Welcome back. It is time for our Rhino Roofers second half kickoff as the Sotomayor Wildcats look to kick it off to South San, leading 31-0. All smiles on the Sotomayor sidelines as the Bobcat fans hoping for a better second half here. Back to receive that kickoff is Marcus Estrada, number 3 there. Taking a look at him and doing the kicking and having a big night is Jesse Perez from Sotomayor. This kick to the left, taken at the 5. And he did not go down. He was going to stumble again and short of the 20-yard line at the 18. Go down the Bobcats, and we'll go down the sidelines. And Matt Roy. Matt.
Yeah, Don Chuck, I talked to Coach Barone when he came out. Obviously very upset that they're not winning right now. However, he knew this was going to be a tough game. 6A against a 5A. He knows Soto's much improved coming into this year. So they're going to try and get some stuff going, try and get some momentum going into next week. However, they are taking a little bit of momentum and a little bit of motivation, trying to end the scoreless streak that Sotomayor has started out this year on. So we're going to see that in the second half. And before I send it back to you guys, Arizona State kicking off here soon. Our season starting off. Go Forks up for ASU.
Sun Devil Matt. All right, here we go. First down and 10 for the Bobcats. Ball's on the ground, and coming in from the left side is the young man we've been talking about all night, Tristan Woodruff, 43, district performer from a year ago, and a young man that's got a physique that will attract recruiters at the next level, I would think.
Well, I don't know what Coach Morales told his squad at halftime. I mean, obviously you look at the score and you think, well, things must be pretty good at Sotomayor, but boy, they really jumped off the snap on that one, didn't they? A lot of pursuit and obviously aided by the miscue in the backfield. Here we are in point number 2, and there's a little extra pep in the step from these Wildcats here to begin the second half.
Big 99, Zayden Osione, the captain, making the initial contact. Joined also by Sean Wasley, who's had numerous tackles here tonight, setting up third down and 14. And Juan Morales has his team focused on not just this one, but the entire season. Pursuit coming, passes out, it's picked off. Another interception by the Sotomayor defense, and it's because of the pursuit again from the back end. Jordan Daniel makes the pick, but it was all set up by Samuel Garcia.
Boy, 32 Garcia's having a whale of a ball game. Tries to ankle bite, does enough. Make the quarterback get rid of it a tick quicker than he wanted to, and man, all kinds of Sotomayorians around the football on that one, but what a performance so far on both sides of the ball so far by these Wildcats.
First
Very
down and
impressive.
10 inside the Central Med red zone. Blake running to the left, gets to the 15, and he's pushed out of bounds at about the 13-yard line. Gain of about 4. Call it 2nd and 5 inside the Central Med red zone. No let up from these Wildcats. Chuck, you talked about last year, maybe a little trash talk for South San after their victory over the Sotomayor Wildcats last year. That's something they haven't forgotten.
Well, as Coach Juan said, they did take notes. But you can't blame them. I mean, it was a hard-fought, well-earned victory last year. Talking is something that we have seen over the decades kind of evolve. And wins are hard to come by. So when you celebrate, oftentimes you let the other team know about it.
False start, number 17 on the offense. 5-yard penalty, replay, second down.
And, there was a little couple scuffles right there at the end of the first half, too, that in his halftime interview, Coach Juan Morales was telling Matt, we can't worry about that extracurricular stuff. We got to focus on us as we take a look at one of our Texas Kidney Foundation player profiles. Brandon Flores, big number 92 of South San, had 50 tackles a year ago. So they'll try to stay focused here. They had a little bit of a Juan Morales isn't buying it. Neither were the coaches next door. On the false start, they thought it was offsides. They lose that argument. Second down and 11 from the 17.
The Sotomayor team just a lot bigger, a lot stronger, and a lot faster from a year ago, as will happen when a young team grows up.
Blake the bubble across the 5 down to the 3-yard line on the nice little bubble screen to Roderick McKinley. They ran Gutierrez to the right. What a decoy he would be because of all the attention he's gotten tonight. Throw back to the left to McKinley, and he got some nice blocking out in front of him.
Indeed, they did a couple of those last week. Roderick held to 2 catches and 4 yards, but they had the big play on the gadget to him early in the football game, and a nice pickup there for his second reception of the night.
They'll be smiling at Dr. Drake's Sleep Solutions smile cam if they can score here. Got the guy in the back of the end zone. That ball's tipped away. Good defense by South San. Noah Mendez making the play.
Yeah, he had somebody wide open on this play here too. Let's take another look.
89 going to the other side.
88 at the top of your screen.
Was it 88?
It sure was.
Jacoby Merrill to the right-hand side. I can't make an excuse about not being able to read numbers tonight. Those are great numbers. Blake throws it, one-on-one coverage back there. Incomplete, no contact. Ball intended for Jace Cano.
Jacob Granado, big number 11, equal to the task. Feet got tangled up a little bit, but no autopsy, no foul. Play on, incidental. Jacob, another guy, really looks the part back there on the back end of this South San defense. Looks like he could mix it up and play some linebacker too, if tasked.
3rd and goal. They pitch it to Gutierrez. Why not? He's got great blocking. He's got a touchdown. Another TD for Jaden Gutierrez tonight as Sotomayor pads the lead.
Well, Juan Morales telling us this week that Logan Blake has got a little more lead in the pipe at the quarterback position. And there you saw it on display as he was one of the lead blockers on the run for the touchdown.
Bettis on for the extra point. He's been perfect tonight. He's up, and it's good. The Wildcats, when in doubt, go to Gutierrez. 38-0 here with 9 minutes and 34 seconds left in the third.
Closed captioning for tonight's game is sponsored by the Vietnam Army Grunt Museum.
Jaden Gutierrez with over 100 yards on the night, his 3 scores. That young, impressive knows who choose our San Antonio Sports All-Stars at the end of the year. I see a candidate there. That ball's loose. Has to be returned. Good speed by the South San return man, but he's run down at the 5. Nothing going the Bobcats' way as the Wildcat special teams had great pursuit there.
Yeah, Dylan Medina really doing a great job on the angles because I looked for a second like he might be able to pop that thing outside.
Look at Matt Roy getting into the flag act. Matt's going to be sore tomorrow.
Yeah, he's got to work on his speed, too.
He's got his TNL
Guys,
towel.
I'm so tired.
Are you?
I haven't run that far in so long.
You out of breath?
No.
1st and 10, new quarterback in, handoff across the 10-yard line. Nice pickup there on 1st down. Taking snaps now is Elijah Pardo, the junior. First series for him.
Yeah, Elijah also playing some linebacker too, so you got him doing a little bit of everything to show you what kind of athlete he is.
Quarterbacks to wear number 20, Chuck.
Don't see it very often, Doug.
Doug Flutie.
I don't think old Flutie Flakes was playing linebacker, though.
No. John Hadel wore 21. Trying to think of any other 20 quarterbacks.
Because Matt Roy was teasing us this week with the number 20.
Yep.
All I can think of is Barry.
Manu.
I know, you went right to Manu, I went right to Barry, but I think Matthew went to 20 as well.
Tice Washington making a tackle. Nice play by Tice. In pursuit. Ball thrown out of bounds.
Mel Renfro.
There you go, Matt.
I know who he is now, guys.
You learned something.
Why I'm around you guys, to learn things.
Speaking of Mel Renfro and discovering great talent, I think Mel Renfro was from Oregon. Certainly want to send our condolences to all the family and friends of the late Gil Brandt, who passed away today at the age of 91. True pioneer in the NFL. Cowboy scout who revolutionized the use of computers, draft combine, the measurables that many scouts use today. He was the first to do it. And his list of Hall of Famers that he found in the middle of nowhere, like Cliff Harris out of Ouachita Baptist, or Drew Pearson out of Tulsa, Bob Hayes, a track star. We'll talk more about Gil when we come back. It's 38-0, Sotomayor in control.
Yeah, after that record-setting punt, too.
Welcome back. We've got a San Antonio Zoo first down for these Sotomayor Wildcats. Complete control here tonight on TNL, up 38-0. After winning last week 45-0 over Lee and called off the Dogs mid-third quarter that way. This one could be going to the house. The same young man who opened up the scoring, Roderick McKinley, off to the races again. He's got a 70-yarder and now a 64-yard touchdown. He may be giving Gutierrez a little run for his money for player of the game.
That's what I'm talking about. A couple of huge, explosive plays coming from the feet and hands of the one and only number 1-1, Roderick McKinney. Speed to burn.
Got a new kicker out there. Perez is done for the night. Instead, they'll hand over those duties to Miguel Guzman, and he's up and good. The junior kicking it through. 45-0, all Wildcats. Well, the only drama now is, will Sotomayor be able to keep their shutout alive, streak alive? Shut out Lee last week by this exact score. And this is about the point of the game last week where they shut it down. But Roderick McKinley having himself a night.
Yeah, we haven't talked much about young Evan Fine, sophomore QB for Sotomayor, but something tells me we'll be hearing an awful lot about that young guy, not only in football, but basketball and baseball. He is something else. Was on point with that one.
He's watched Logan Blake take most of the snaps tonight. We were told pregame that both would see lots of action and find maybe their guy going forward, wanting to get him a couple of good attempts tonight as they get ready to move into district play.
Yeah, I mean, coaches just rave about this guy as an athlete. They say he's the best shooter on the basketball team, and he's already a varsity baseball player and outfielder, gets on the mound, got a heck of a cannon, and showing off tonight his ability to throw the football on the grid.
It's a San Antonio Zoo first down, and it's not going anywhere as the Sotomayor defense runs in waves to bring down Ivan Rivera.
But you know what, Don? I love it when I hear that his best sport is baseball.
I know you do. And you know what? So does his mom.
That's right.
He's not going to get hurt.
Well, he's going to play football, basketball, and baseball, and nothing's gotten him so far. We'll knock on wood, because something tells me he's going to be excellent at all three.
Nice play, bouncing this to the outside, down the sidelines, across the 40 to the 45-yard line is Frank Orozco, who finally breaks free.
Frank landed a little awkwardly on that one, but he's going to be able to shake it off and get back to the huddle. But man, this guy's
we've got a
tough hombre.
Flag down. All right, so they pick it up. So good news for South San. Rare spark tonight for the Bobcats. And it's another San Antonio Zoo first down. Real important for Coach Barone's team. You know, this early in the season, you don't want to, after what happened last week with McCollum and then tonight against Sotomayor, you don't want to have your team get too down in the dumps, getting ready to go into district play. You have to be able to battle these frustrations, and as is the case almost every time we see them, they won't quit. They'll keep fighting, and there's another good evidence of that with that run right there.
Yeah, Perryman doing a really nice job. Good burst and way to finish off the run too. He hasn't quit. As we take a look at South San's upcoming schedule, but you know, Don, it's an adjustment every year for these teams, right? I mean, Coach Barone, his son, and another receiver are playing college football at Bethel, and they were their two best offensive guys from a season ago. His son was a quarterback. So, you know, there's an adjustment period as we move forward now with this new look Bobcat team, but they got Cigaroa, Legacy, and then another Laredo school, Martin, oldest school in Laredo, if I remember correctly. So, you know, chance to maybe get something going here at the end of this football game and give themselves a little better taste in their mouth as they get ready to league play. But all these snaps super important for these young guys. They face some stiff competition early on in the season, and you know, that'll be something that'll serve them greatly as we move forward.
Another scuffle on the far sideline, no flags. The tempers definitely flaring here in the third quarter as South San's getting a little frustrated, and Sotomayor is not going to take it. Third down and short. Ball's fumbled, and right on top of it is the defense from Sotomayor. They don't get the football. Pardo recovered his own snap, but busting through there was number 12 for the Steel defense.
Seth Freeman.
Seth Freeman coming up nicely.
Sure has.
That was a whale of a collision. Might be a nominee for our Beluga Air whale of a collision of the game.
You see these guys growing up, looking good from these fast times at Ridgemont High. Got size and speed and depth, probably the most important thing of all, especially when you know you're Sotomayor and you try to get some of these wins in their rugged league. They got some big games coming up. But mighty impressive through 2 weeks, ain't no doubt about that.
This is interesting right here. It's 3:24 left in the third, 4th and 4. And I think Barone's taking a timeout here. This is what we were just talking about keeping the fight alive, going into next week, all that kind of stuff. This is a play right here where you can challenge your team and say, look, we're going to go for it. But this is about mental toughness. This is about never quitting. Let's go get this right here.
Right, and there's something to learn from this moment right here, because you might find yourself in a ball game late in the season where, you know, you need a first down on a fourth down to keep a drive alive to go win a football game. But again, these are growing pains. A lot of these guys playing varsity or getting their first varsity snaps for the first time, and you know, these are moments that might be new to some of them at this level, especially under these circumstances.
Split to the left-hand side in the slot is Julius Martinez. Keep your eye on him. Pardo takes the snap, looks his way, a comeback route, he just missed him.
Well, nothing wrong with Pardo's arm either. He's looked pretty comfortable back there for the most part, especially when he rolls out. Of course, he's going to stay in the game and play some defense now. But we're back in 15 seconds.
Do you know a San Antonio teen in 7th to 12th grade looking for ways to get involved in the community? They can apply to be a Project Worth Teen Ambassador today. For more information, visit our website or call 210-207-8850.
And so Sotomayor will take over a pretty good field position, their own 45-yard line, and it's Evan Fine, the sophomore, taking the snaps now. He'll hand on a little counter, coming right up the middle. This one's busting wide open to the 30, to the 25, and down to the 20-yard line. And out of bounds after another big gain is Carl C.J. Little. He's had himself quite a night on a couple of receptions over the middle.
There we're seeing all the weapons on display. Just a little misdirection and another huge explosive play for Sotomayor.
It's another San Antonio Zoo first down for the Wildcats. Sign's got Little again, little hesitation. Left tackle jumped, just a hitch. False start.
False start on the offense, number 72. 5-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
So it'll be 1st and 15. We talked about Juan Morales' team getting ready for that tough schedule. Stevens, Holmes, Jay, and Harlan to start. The Wildcats next week. Off to the left-hand side. They've gone away from Gutierrez, who's had himself a night. No reason to risk injury to him, as Trey Dorsey now in at tailback. And he had 9 carries for 50 yards last week.
Well, it's interesting. Coach Morales has given a lot of guys some looks tonight, some touches, but he's leaving a lot of his big boys up front. And those guys have done a really impressive job holding their own tonight. They got seniors up the middle with Navarrijo, and then they got Sorolla on the left, and then Benavides, the other guard. And then they got Sixtos, who's really, really a nice player, just a junior, and then a sophomore, DeAnda's got a chance to be something special, number 74. So
we've got a player down while that's attending to him. Let's take a look at our TNL top 10. Steele came into the season number 1, and they just destroyed Brennan in week 1 to stay there. Reagan had a big win over Smithson Valley. Johnson beat Judson, who started the year number 2. The Rockets fall to number 5. We had Veterans Memorial in week 1. They were impressive even without James Peoples. New Braunfels went up and gave Denton Ryan all they could handle. Unicorns in at number 7. We got Harlan, who we have next week against Brennan on TNL. And Brandeis and Smithson Valley rounding out the top 10. And one omission there that others receiving votes that you'll see jump in soon enough is Wagner, Thunderbirds. Very impressive, going up and thumping Liberty Hill, who's a state power.
Yeah, Brandeis with the Phil Yaw kid at quarterback, very nice, and nobody's worried about Larry Hill's team. They're going to be right there when they need to be.
And if you want to hear a couple of old guys talking sports, check out our Sneakers and Cleats podcast, as Matt Roy would say, wherever you get your podcasts.
Wherever, Don, wherever.
Chuck's got his phone out. Look, he's scanning the QR code.
No, but I do have a podcast app.
You do.
Both of you do. I'm actually really impressed.
I do.
We got young Matt Roy.
It's wherever I get my podcast.
Showing us where we need to be.
Where do you get your podcast, Don?
Apple.
There you go.
Yeah, Matt Roy doing a great job hosting Sneakers and Cleats and just allowing Don and I to show up and riff.
Young man looks okay. They were looking at his knee, so he appears okay. Oh, as good as he can be.
Yeah, and that's Elegant Thompson, the highly touted athlete, track star. So we hope he's okay.
But yeah, those Wednesday episodes that we do, guys, are really exciting, especially since we get to highlight so many great athletes like the guys we have on the field right now.
Boy, let's hope he's okay.
Oh,
We don't want to see anybody get hurt.
Yeah, tough to watch.
We talked about this guy and what a special, special athlete he is. And just a junior. But my goodness, you talk about the things that he qualified for regionals already as a sophomore. I mean, long jumper, hurdler, triple jumper, 300-meter hurdles too. I mean, that's a man-size race right there.
They may be waiting for a cart of some sort because I don't think they want him to put any more pressure on that left leg. We'll take a break and update his situation when we come back. Yeah, our thoughts and wishing the best for Elegant Thompson as they do cart him off here, as he's very, very gingerly holding that left, what looks to be left leg for sure.
Yeah, and as talented an athlete as Elegant is, Phil Barone telling us what a great kid he is as well. I mean, to think that he could do all that as a sophomore, a lot of guys would be walking around with a pretty big head, but they said he's just the cream of the crop in terms of guy, too.
Here's the pitch to Dorsey. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, lunges forward for about a yard. It'll be 3rd down and 10. Call it 11. As Jeremy Martinez runs in to replace Dorsey at tailback spot. 2 wide receivers go right, including Darrell Bacon in the slot. They move the tackle over to the strong side, bring Bacon in motion. And they'll pitch it to Martinez. Martinez has the corner. He's got the first down inside the Central Med red zone, out of bounds, short of the 10-yard line, but good enough for another San Antonio Zoo first down.
Yeah, and you look at Jeremy Martinez, you can obviously see the speed, but look at this guy finish this one off. You want some? Okay, I got you. Taking on all comers too, Agent Zero.
He'll stay in at the tailback spot, first down from the 12. Receivers split to the left-hand side. Bacon in motion. Trying to get him to the corner. He does, and he gets out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Stops the clock with 37 seconds to go.
Oh, just Juan Morales and the Sotomayor coaching staff doing a little bit of everything tonight. Lined up Deonda on the right side, then pulled him over to the left last second to his normal spot, had him inside. Showing us a little of this and a little of that this evening on a game so far that has gone all their way at 45-0 here late in the third.
Keon Perryman coming in, the senior running back. They'll go shotgun on 2nd and about 8. He'll run the quarterback straight ahead, and he's not going anywhere. Good job by the South San defense. Ethan Vela wrapping him up. Set up 3rd down and 5. It'll be interesting to see if Sotomayor just will run out the clock here in the third and snap this on the other end of the field to start the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Ivan Rivera, 26, has had a nice ball game for South San, and Fabian Gonzalez helping to finish off that last tackle.
4 seconds to snap it, and they do, right at the gun. Breaking a tackle to get down to the 2-yard line is Logan Plake. That's the end of the third quarter. It'll be third and very short when we come back to start the fourth. All Sotomayor on TNL. Time for our Harlandale Independent School District third quarter highlights. Another big defensive play by that Sotomayor D. Oski by Jordan Daniel. Set up another touchdown by Gutierrez, his third of the night. Everything going right. This man's had a huge game. Roderick McKinley.
And now South San's come up with a big play on defense to answer the bell.
Back to live action on third and goal. Or excuse me, 3rd and 1. It's the Bobcat D. Coming up with the loose ball off the missed execution.
There's our man, 26, Ivan Rivera again. We just talked about the kind of night he was having, and the nose for the football. Found the nose of the football on that one.
They just snap it into the shoulder pad of the blocking back, I think. It's a countywide service company first down for the Bobcats, who take over deep in their own territory. It's Pardo playing quarterback still. He turns the wrong way. Still gets the ball off into the hands of Orozco, who's going to fight you all the way to the finish. He picks up a few. It'll be second down and long. Chuck, we were talking about Gil Brandt and just all of his spectacular accomplishments in the NFL. And as good as he was at discovering people like Bob Hayes, who was a track star, and Too Tall Jones, who was at Tennessee State, and Larry Allen, who was at Sonoma State, Cliff Harris at Ouachita Baptist. He was also, nobody was better at telling stories. And what subsequently is passing today, everybody's got great stories about Gil Brandt telling stories.
Right? I mean, I tweeted out today, there were a couple of times in my lifetime where he literally saved my bacon. When I was on the road at a big NFL event and I needed a story. The first one was at the Houston Super Bowl where the Patriots played
Carolina,
and I don't know how many decades ago that was. But I got there late, and he was walking through a ballroom, and I recognized him, didn't know him, introduced myself, and I think we talked for about 30 minutes. 5 on camera and another 20 where he wanted to get to know me. Where are you from? How long you been doing this? How much do you love football?
And he didn't forget your name after that.
I can't speak to that, but I had another story at the Super Bowl in Miami that was the Chiefs 49ers Super Bowl. Again, I forget the year. I think 2019. He's on the red carpet, walking by himself. He's going into the Hall of Fame, or he's there for a Hall of Fame event. And I don't remember which. I just remember seeing him. And to tell you the kind of guy that he is, as we watch this play unfold here, again, great pursuit by the Sotomayor defense. But he was in the middle of the red carpet, and I was on the media section, and I said, Mr. Brandt, and you could tell he was trying to get somewhere, and he waved his hand in the air like he was going to keep going because he needed to get somewhere. And I said, it's Chuck from San Antonio. And he immediately stopped, looked me in the eye, and came over and did the interview. And Don, I still feel bad about this to this day. While we were doing the interview, he put his hand on me to balance himself.
Yeah.
Like he was walking from point A to point B because he was afraid he might fall over. But the man, even in the condition that he was in, stopped. There was nobody helping him walk or guiding him to where he needed to go. But I'll never forget that he took the time, and then once the camera came on, he was Gil Brandt, the football guy. Whatever you asked, he had an answer for, and it was usually insightful. But I I don't know if I can paint a better picture as to what kind of guy Gil Brandt was. And everybody has a story like that.
Oh, yeah.
That's like I said on Twitter today. You find somebody out there that can say one bad thing about Gil Brandt, and it will be the first.
I don't remember ever going to a Super Bowl, and I think I've been to 10 or more, where we didn't talk to him on Radio Row. He was doing multiple interviews.
Right.
We're going to take a break. We'll come back. More Gil Brandt stories.
God bless you, Gil.
Time for another Dr. Drake Sleep Solutions Smile Cam. Boy, are they having fun. Sotomayor High School. We heard about it during that pep rally with the coach talking about the whole school is all for one and one for all, starting this thing together. We were talking about the death of legendary Cowboy personnel man Gil Brandt, Hall of Famer, Ring of Honor member. Part of that triumvirate, the holy trinity of Cowboy front office with Tex Schramm, Tom Landry, and Gil Brandt, maybe equally as important as the other two. Tex was a marketing genius, discovering the cheerleaders. I mean, think about the things that Tex came up with. The stripe on the 20-yard line to let people know which way teams were going, those kind of things. The arrows on the numbers. Television, Tex was so big in that. And then Tom Landry, of course, the coaching. But Gil Brandt revolutionized how people found talent, and nobody did it better. He was the first one. Tom Landry and Tex didn't know what he was doing when he brought in all these big IBM computers that were spitting out data. He invented the combine and the way they test players.
Yeah, I mean, taking track guys, turning them into football players, taking basketball guys, turning them into football
Cordell
players.
Green.
I mean, just the imagination. And, you know, obviously one of those guys that you just have to tip your cap to where we are today with the game of football. Again, Don, I know I told you this during the break, but he's one of those guys that, you know, I didn't live in Texas growing up, but, you know, you read about him. And there was always information out and stories, because even when we were kids, it didn't matter where you lived. The Cowboys were still a huge brand. And I just remember thinking, you know, I'd read this name or I'd see a picture, and then to meet him for the first time, it was like a mythical character.
Sure.
The amount of press he was getting, and obviously all of it well earned.
He was the first guy to use psychological testing, like they use the Wonderlic test now. He was the first one to come up with the questions to see if a young man would perform under pressure with a psychological profile. First to do that. You think, okay, of course they do that in the NFL and everything now, you know.
Right.
But he was the first, and he's just such a nice guy all the time. Every time you got a chance to meet him, he remembered your name, especially when he knew where you were from and what. He was glad to talk about people from San Antonio. Gonna really, really miss him. Glad to see that he got all of his due before he passed at the age of 91, both in the Ring of Honor and then just most recently into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and, you know, special place in my heart for the guy for a lot of reasons too. But, you know, I just always think of him as, you know, Cowboys, Texas, innovative football, and he's a Wisconsin guy.
He was a baby photographer at Sears before he took the Cowboys.
No kidding.
He just loved football. It was a hobby for him. Tex Schramm found it as a baby photographer at Sears.
Wow, and a career is born.
Yep, 45-0, 6 minutes to go here. A blowout on T&L.
Welcome back to Ferris Stadium. The moon is out. Seen a good one here tonight from Sotomayor. And looky what they're going to get for their victory here this evening. The fine folks at Monarch Trophy have come up with another wonderful piece of hardware to distribute after the game, not only to the winning team, but of course to the MVP. And boy, we're going to have some tough decisions tonight to decide who is the best player or the most impactful on the Sotomayor squad. Both teams playing their hearts out here tonight, but Sotomayor really flashing on both sides of the ball. Roderick McKinney has had a huge night offensively for Sotomayor. And of course, Jaden Gutierrez, Don, has been absolutely electric running the ball. He has a big catch, 3 scores. It's going to be hard to pair this one up tonight.
And we're back in 15 seconds.
Hey San Antonio teens! Are you looking for ways to share your voice, creativity, and ideas on ways to positively impact the community? Become a Project Worth Teen Ambassador. For more information, visit our website or call 210-207-8850.
The Wildcats have another countywide service company first down and another long punt there by South San with the roll. Got another quarterback in here as the Wildcats are trying to get some young people some snaps.
Yeah, this has been a mighty impressive performance here tonight, and also again last week by Sotomayor. I mean, 45-0 last week, and repeat the feat again this evening, but I mean, it bears repeating. You know, talking to Coach Morales, he says they think they have a playoff team. They're not allowed to say it. We talked about that, but it was interesting, Don. One of the kids this week was on camera talking about their team this year and the prospects for the future. Jack Green, the one and only, asking the questions, and Coach Morales said he was standing off to the side to make sure that the young man did not say the word playoffs. And so it was interesting to watch the kid dodge and weave and bob to try to avoid the direct question because they are forbidden from bringing it up. But that is definitely the goal. That's where they want to be. You know, Coach Juan thinks they got a good chance to be in the top 4 at the end of this thing, looking at the tools that they've got, where they've been, where they're going. The chemistry's amazing. They like the scheme. They've made gains in the track realm, getting guys faster, stronger. You know, they've got the makings of it, and he's certainly hoping that this is the year to punch through. I mean, again, they're 2 up into this season already, 2 wins, already doubling their win total from a year ago. I mean, what we've seen on both sides of the ball, especially along that defensive line, my goodness, are they talented in the box? Their DB's showing out. You got a lot to look forward to this year, and same for South San. You know, they got a lot of kids that are going to grow up here a little bit here over these first 2 weeks, but they keep fighting.
We forced a punt here on 4th down, and you know, I think really important to them at this point is preserving the shutout, and they're going to give South San the ball back with some pretty good field position here, and Perez comes out to do the punting duties here. Is this their first punt of the game? First punt of the game for Sotomayor.
That was a nice snap.
Nice snap. Ball's going to check up at the 45-yard line, and South San's got a little motivation here to go down and try to score and end this shutout. Time for us to flash back. 2009.
They might expect Barron to throw here, and he is on 3rd and long towards the end zone. Touchdown. Gonna go right up the gut here to the 5-yard line. He is in the end zone for a touchdown. Is this the best game you've played?
No, sir. I wouldn't say that it was the best game I played. I think
you had a better one in Pop Warner. I mean, this was awesome.
I think my Southside game was better. This game was pretty good too.
That's not Coach Barron, but that's his cousin Sam, who had a big night on TNL. Ernie Zuniga with the call back then.
Yeah, we talked about his son Cam playing up at Bethel in the state of Kansas, along with a teammate that's already getting on the field up there. But it's pretty cool. Talking to Phil this week, and you know, I asked him if his son was homesick. He said, nope, that's not it. He said the realization for my son was he got to college and he looked around, he said, man, all these dudes can play. And Phil had to remind him, it's like, look, every dude that's here was the best guy on their high school team. So,
that's
you know, you're a freshman, you find out pretty quickly that they can all play at the next level.
Speaking of Coach Barron's pre-interview keys to the game baseball cap, I told you the uniform czar loved that. And we're running out of time here, so quickly we should get to the uniform czar here on 2nd and 11. One little stretch play, nice broken tackle there. Okay, first of all, let's start with South San. They've got some great striping going on. Both the tight, close together, small stripes across the helmet, very nice. And the little Texas Longhorn sleeve stripe, they cut it off and just go kind of halfway with it. I love it. Good block numbers, clean blue and white, nothing tricky on the pants, no crazy fonts, just A+ for South San. Good color scheme too. That blue that they have that popped on his baseball cap, man, that was impressive. Fumble, ball's out. I believe Sotomayor is going to come up with the football. They do.
Seth Freeman again.
And it'll be victory formation from here on out.
Yeah, let's see who got the let me see you stripped.
I don't know what that means.
It's an oldie but goodie book. 52 coming in. Matthew Zamago, the senior linebacker. Little post special. It's a cover song, I believe, but Rammstein made it famous.
Okay. As for the Sotomayor uniforms, you know, these are only a year, 2 years old. Juan Morales got to design them and come up with the logo and, you know, everything from scratch to start that school. They're gonna say it's South San football still. Right? He pointed that way.
The ball was loose. Correction, forward progress was stopped before the ball came out. The result of the play is 3rd down.
I don't think so. But, you know, why not? I mean, if we have another look at that, I don't think so.
Well, 20's excited about it. He was going to be on the field no matter what.
Great block, big numbers. We talked last week about the reason for numbers is for player identification. Sotomayor has knocked that out of the park. I love the alternate logo on the helmets. The S on one side, very simple. Got your Wildcat on the other side of the helmet. Very nice. Single shoulder stripe, plain black pant, no stripe. Very much a Oakland Raider helmet.
It's like a Pittsburgh Steeler helmet, though, right? Little alternate. You got the S on one side. You got the logo of the Wildcat on the other, right?
Steelers, though, just have a logo on one side, plain on the other.
Right.
Yeah. It's good. Third down here, and picking up the Countywide Service Company first down. The Bobcats running out of time, 1:18 to go. And it's time for our Beluga Airs whale of a collision of the game. And that's Seth Freeman. He's had a couple of them tonight. He's coming up with that one right there, the little quick blitz.
Knocker.
Ball out. Seth Freeman, our Beluga Air whale of a collision. 1st and 10. South San trying to get off the schneid. Pardo dropped. And that'll take us to inside of 40 seconds. Another impressive performance by Sotomayor. Going to be 45-0 2 weeks in a row. And it's time for our Ron Hoover RV and Marine play of the night. Right off the bat, that's how he got started. That trickeration with McKinley on the receiving end of the 70-yarder, the longest play of the game. He had 2 long ones, 70 and 64. And we've got an injured player down right now for South San. But both quarterbacks held their own for Sotomayor. Their explosive speed showing with McKinley and the toughness of Jaden Gutierrez, and their defense swarming to the ball as well. I mean, we might well, you know, course, offensive players, McKinley and Gutierrez are going to be the finalists for the player of the game, but you could give it to that entire defense for throwing up zeros 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, Caterino Soto walking off. We'll hope he's okay as well. But, Juan Morales, he's always known for having a play or two. Man, if you're a team, I don't care what level, when a coach starts putting in gadgets like that, it is fun to practice those. It's a break from the dive play here or the slant there. Everybody gets to be in a little different place, and it's one of those things. I like to hear Coach McCarthy talk about those too. You got to have a 9 for 10 succession rate in practice so you pull it off before you play it in a game. So well done, Sotomayor, on many fronts this evening.
And it's going to end appropriately with the defense coming up to end it with a loss.
Tice Washington, nice play. He's made it several here tonight, just a sophomore.
Tice's mom's watching tonight.
She is indeed.
Happy for that one. The clock hits zeros, and that's the ball game, 45-0. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, Matt Roy will hand out our Monarch trophies to the coach and our player of the game. All Sotomayor tonight from Ferris Stadium.
Tonight's broadcast of Thursday Night Lights is sponsored by Taco Cabana, the Gomez Law Firm, Steele Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, Centro Med, Enroll SA, Countywide Service Company, Dr. Drake Sleep Solutions, Christus Children's, San Antonio Sports, Valero, San Antonio Metropolitan Health District, Vietnam Army Grunt Museum, Beluga Air, Rhino Roofers, Texas Kidney Foundation, Air and Plumbing Today, Ron Hoover RV and Marine, Harlandale Independent School District, San Antonio Zoo, and Monarch Trophy Studio. Welcome to the Taco Cabana Thursday Night Lights post-game show, presented by the Gomez Law Firm.
45-0, our final here at Ferris Stadium as the Sotomayor Wildcats beat the South San Bobcats. Matt Roy standing by with the victors, ready to hand out the hardware.
Yes, we're handing out the hardware here because the Sotomayor Wildcats threw another shutout tonight. Let's hear it. All right. I don't have 11 trophies, but the defense all deserves one. Congratulations to the defense. 2 games, guys, 2 games. It was a tight race for player of the game tonight between 2 players. But the winner had 3 touchdowns and 103 yards, I believe, Mr. Jaden Gutierrez. Let's go. Just get that for you. And actually, so this week is something new for us. We have a very new sponsor, Hope, from the San Antonio Zoo. You get 4 tickets to the zoo, my man. All right, let's choose which 3 are coming with us. No, I'm just kidding. He's like, oh, thank goodness. All right. So you guys have now put up 90 points and you've allowed 0. What does that tell you about your second-year program, my man?
Like, we're stronger. We're better now. We're dang.
It feels good, right?
It feels good. It feels great. You got me in the spotlight.
You're also one of the members of the first senior class here at Sotomayor. Does that give you some sort of sense of pride here as you guys put up a 45 burger tonight?
It gives us a lot of pride, yes, sir.
All right, man. Well, congratulations to you. Coach, let's get you up here, my man. Congratulations. Take a knee right there, bud. All right, well, Coach, second-year program, pitching shutouts weekly, I guess.
Yes.
What sort of sense of pride does that give you, my friend?
Well, I'm super proud of these young men, super proud of these coaches. The amount of work that these guys have done all together as this family's put together throughout the offseason, throughout the spring, and throughout the summer. I think we're finally seeing the fruits of our labor, and I couldn't be even prouder of that.
I know we're not going to mention a certain word, but you guys are playing extremely well as you go into next week, as you go into district play. What's the message to your guys?
Stay level-headed. Stay on business. We've got a lot of work to do. We've got a lot of mistakes to fix still. Our district is no joke. We got a lot of great opponents here, and we're getting ready to start this real run.
A true coach, you wouldn't be post-game without, there's a lot of mistakes to fix. So congratulations to you. So we have two things this year.
All right.
Usually, and for 14 years, it's been a trophy, which is awesome. Congratulations, Coach. I'll give this to you.
First.
However, you're first on TNL, so hopefully you get many more. But for the 15th year of TNL, we're also giving away a 15th year anniversary game ball. So how about this? Congratulations, my man.
All right, the first ever TNL trophy to Sotomayor. Everything's a first. We're going to take a break. We'll come back with much more here on the postgame show.
Once again, we have Jaden Gutierrez, who is our player of the game. How are you going to celebrate tonight?
I'm going to the San Antonio Zoo!
Oh, that's awesome. That's fantastic. Good for him. Good for Sotomayor. Let's take a look at our Harlandale Independent School game highlights. It started early, really 3rd and long on the very first drive. A little trick play, double pass going deep to McKinley. He went 70 yards to the house. That got the scoring started, Chuck, and they did not let up.
No, they didn't. Gutierrez with a huge night. Big ups to the dudes up front that creased some massive holes for him to run through, but he's a tricky little athlete too on top of it, so he made some plays. But how about, Don, the Sotomayor defense all over the field tonight. Sammy Garcia with a pick six, second in school history. Then Sammy biting some ankles, gets the quarterback off his feet, which leads to another pick and an outstanding play there by 13, Jordan Daniel. And then 10 equals 6 again. And then, man, I can't say enough about the job that 11 had tonight. Roderick, huge game for him. Could have easily been our player of the game. Well done, sir.
Coming up next week on TNL, the game we talked about earlier, Brennan and Harlan. Talk about teams expected to be in the playoffs. Brennan, our preseason number 2. Harlan, a playoff fixture. This should be a great one next week on Thursday Night Lights. All right, can't wait for next week. For Dean Radler, our executive producer, Chris Kotfus, our producer extraordinaire, Brian Watts, all the guys in the truck, Matt Roy down on the sidelines, our statistician extraordinaire, Nick Funky Colbadina, and for Chuck McIntyre, I'm Don Harris saying we'll see you next week on Taco Cabana Thursday Night Lights.
You're watching Taco Cabana Thursday Night Lights, presented by the Gomez Law Firm.